Hello YouTubers, Troz here, back with more Factorio Megabase. Uh, last time I said we'd be testing out the 1K science production, and while I think that may still be the case, uh, I forgot a few things, but we'll probably still get to testing that. First, I want to talk a little bit about this power plant that I built last time. It's now fully built, it's been running for a bit, and I've recently redesigned the control circuit. It's still basically this part here is the same, but I've added a little bit more circuitry up here and an accumulator to make it smarter. Now the way this works is it runs all the power plant, the nuclear reactors at the same time for the full neighbor bonus. Right now they're off, that's why the neighbor bonus is 0. And any excess steam gets stored out in these tanks. From what I understand, like each tank is worth the equivalent of something like 480 accumulators. So we try to keep these tanks at a certain level, and if we have more steam than that, when the 200 seconds runs out, which it will soon, we turn off the reactors, and if we have less, you can see right here our purple markers what our steam level we're aiming for. Because this is our steam level, you can actually read it off here. We try to keep 16,000. Right now we're at 13,000. That's why those are yellow. And this is going to turn off in a second, and all these arms are going to fill these reactors. There they go, to turn them on. And now you can see this little green light turns on to show we are in the on state. So while we're in the on state, these will heat up, which will now heat up the exchangers, which you can see these first ones are heating up very quickly because they're almost directly connected. These will take a little longer, although you can see, like, hey, this one is producing steam now, and this one should be now as well, once they're above 500. So these slowly will start heating up. The ones out here take maybe 30 or 45 seconds to eventually get up to temperature. It takes time, obviously, for the heat to make its way down the heat pipe here. You see, this row here is starting to heat up, so these will turn on in, yep, there they technically go, 501, 502. This one should be the same temperature because it's hooked up to the same pipe. So it takes a bit of time for these to turn on. And likewise, when we find out we have enough steam, if the 200 seconds elapses and we have more steam than our setting, then we won't put in fuel, and this green light will go out to show we're in the off state. Now when you're near the off state, these are still warm, and so are these, so you still produce steam for like a good 45 seconds or more, depending on how hot everything gets. But at that point, we're basically start using the steam out of the tanks, and the amount of steam in the tanks goes down. And if you're using a steady amount of power, that's fine. What may happen is it takes more time to use the steam than the 200 seconds, so you may be off for 2 rounds in a row. But there's a bit of a problem. If your electricity usage starts spiking, see, right now we're using, let's say, about 2 gigawatts. If for some reason this reaches 200, this is just above, and we decide not to run it again, and then our power usage spikes, like let's say it doubles to 4 gigawatts, you're going to use the steam in here pretty quickly. And when it gets low, and when I say low, if the tanks up front that are connected directly here drop below, let's say, about 5,000, then these the turbines can't get enough steam in, even if the ones in the back have steam. So one thing I did do is there's a pump that will pump steam from the back to the front, if we find that's the case. But additionally, I have hooked up this accumulator. So if this starts dropping and we are in off mode, this light is off, we got this will say, hey, if we are in off mode, the fuel signal is off, and our accumulator power drops to 95%. That means, hey, we need to put in fuel now to get our steam levels back up. So I have some tricky circuits here. This one, so if we find that we set E to on, that's like emergency mode. You can see here now we have enough steam, or at least more steam than our steam level. So we will turn off next time this fills up. So if emergency mode gets activated, we immediately, hey, we need fuel. That tells all these arms here, to put in fuel. And at the same time, whatever the counter is, we subtract 6,000. Because this actually counts up to 6,000 the way it works. Counts once every 2 frames because it goes through 2 different things. So we subtract 6,000. So that sets it either to 0 if it was at 6,000 or below 0. Now that's an attempt to reset the counter, but that's going to put it below 0 likely. So we have this other circuit here that checks if C is less than 0. We subtract 0. We subtract C from 0, which gets the positive version of whatever C was, and adds it back into C. So, a negative C plus a negative C basically is 0. It's probably going to take 2 ticks, so it's probably going to come out to 2, but that's basically 0 because we're counting up from 0 to 6,000. So if it winds up at 2, that's okay. We're, 2 frames off from what the real count should be. So it basically resets our counter and tells all the arms to put in fuel right now because, hey, our accumulator has been going down. Now, again, that only happens if we're in the off state. If we're in the on state and the accumulator starts going down, well, assumingly we're already running as hard as we can. Maybe things just haven't heated up yet, but putting in more fuel isn't going to make it heat up faster. So that's the circuit. Additionally, like I said, I have little pumps that I stuck on out here in the steam tanks. So there's we're using the green wire out here. We're measuring actually the red wire here. We're measuring the front tank here, and the front tanks on both sides actually, and the back tanks on both sides. And we're using this little. So we're taking the amount of steam in the back and labeling that B. We're taking the steam in the front and labeling that F. And you can see at this point back is lower. And this just subtracts the front from the back, and if the back has more, we pump it forward, and if the front has more than is larger than 5,000 more, because obviously the front's going to get more steam because that's where it's going in, but if it gets a lot more in the back than the back, we actually turn on this pump, which it is running right now, to pump some into the back. So you can see, hey, these are up, but the sides here only, not quite as much. So we pump it into the back center, and that's how that works. So we pump some into the back if the front has a lot more, and if the front has less than the back at all, not at all, it actually has to be 1,000 less than the back, then we pump it forward. We don't have those the same because I don't want the pumps to run all the time. There's going to be a little difference. So, I mentioned earlier things that I missed or haven't done that I need to do. And one of them I realized is we need batteries, and I had forgot to set them up. But we also had a third iron smelter that we never set up. So let's. Actually, I can probably do that from here. Actually, we'll go over. Let's go over. Let's. So one of the things I set up, I think that might have been set up last time, but I set up a few more. One iron out here, one iron over here. Just because they were easy to access, and hey, we're going to run a third iron smelter, might as well give it its own iron fields. So, let's, I'll get in the closer. Because these are far, I actually have, most of them are far, I have 2 more trains. But you're going to the close one. So let's get in you, and well, we'll fix the rail over here for pickup, because we can now pick up, and we'll fix the rail here. And somehow I got out of the train. You should be you're a close one as well. So we'll just take a quick ride, make sure this is all working. I also changed the loader there to the new style. And then once this is working, we'll turn on the battery maker. And that's a design I designed all myself. I hope it works out well. I believe it will make more batteries than we need. But I'm not sure it's as efficient as it could be. But we'll see. Hopefully I've done all these junctions correct, because this is a new branch. It's possible we may get deadlocks. Oh, why are we parked all the way out here? I mean, I kind of know why. Because there aren't any signals, but... Alright, we're getting loaded up here. And that should be good for us to go. Tell my map is getting quite big at this point. This is a new branch as well. Because this was originally only one way, the other way. Well, it doesn't look like any of the other trains are back, and We're only unloading on the one. But you can see how much better this does. With only 3, this was previously, at least in the other smelters, getting a little backed up. But this, now with 4 stack inserters on each side, it runs well, as long as it's powered, apparently. There we go. Hopefully we'll get some of the other trains back. So each of the trains has 2 different iron fields, miners, outposts, whatever you want to call them. There's 4 iron outposts, 30, 31, 32, and 33. They all go to 2 of them just in case one runs out early. The trains will still eventually get ore at another. This is also new. I put this cross. Theoretically, they could cross either way. Seems the trains over here like to go this way. Unfortunately, because this is a one-way, it only allows one. Well, it's one track, both directions, but because of that, only one train can be on it at a time. I'm kind of really surprised that they go this way. You would think going this way would be just as long, but they seem to like going this way back. Which way are you going? I guess I can see it. They come up here and then they're much closer instead of basically heading south to come back. Sounds like we got another train parking here. They all are unloading at this first one. I was hoping we get a few trains in at near the same time, so that at least one. Oh, we got another train coming here. Alright, we got at least one unloading here. Hopefully we'll get a few more. I'm hoping this other train coming. Yeah. You can see the furnaces up here are turning on as ore is going down these belts. So, in a minute or 3, this should be ready to provide iron trains with iron. What's going on here? Oh, look at that. There we go. Now you're getting a full belt. That must have been from when I switched over from adding in the balancers on the unloaders there. Yeah, so that's good. We've got 8 loaders for each car. Car holds 2,000. So about 250 from each, which we have that now in the back, so we should be good. I just wish the sun came up. Oh, looks like I have enough lights. All right. So this is my battery production. We take an iron train and a copper train. I'm just unloading from one side because we have 8 production lines, and it uses up almost a full blue belt of mixed iron and copper. Basically iron on one side, copper on the other. And we get maybe half a blue belt of batteries out of it. We also need sulfuric acid, and that's delivered down here. We got, as you can see, 2 of, well, we got, these are 2 iron trains, these are 2 copper trains, and then I have 3 sulfuric acid trains because I'm not really sure how much it uses. I just want to make sure we're not running out. So theoretically, one will be unloading, one will be waiting here while the third gets filled. And then we produce half, well, a 1/4 train of batteries. Like I said, the belt is only about half full of batteries in my test. I have a test world where I basically design this. But yeah, we have 8 separate lanes. This is obviously the material in belt. This is the battery out belt. And then we have a pipe for the acid. We got 3 pumps in here at the bottom, and then 2 more pipes get pumped up to the top to feed in from the top. Sort of how I did the lube on the blue circuit. No, it was acid on the blue circuit production. We haven't used lubricant yet. Down here. Similar to this, we got acid coming up here and here to the top, and then there's kind of flow-through pipes. Let's turn this on and see how it goes. I'm gonna get into... We know this will work. I'm gonna get into a train there. And apparently I'm not close enough for my bots to place that. One turret engage with the enemies. Oh! Okay, here we go. I'll deal with that. Of course, we got in the unlucky acid train. Each acid train should fill up half of these tanks. There's 8 tanks there, and these are 4 tank equivalents. Ooh, we are going, but one of the iron trains went here, and oh, I have a problem. That's something I should have checked. Let's do that. See how far these go. So this should fill rather quickly, actually. Yeah, and then no path. Well, if you didn't notice, which I really should have noticed, is that These are supposed to be 2 8 trains, but I only had at least the iron and copper ones, and I only had a single engine. Let's put that back. So they'll be able to get in, but they won't be able to get out. You'd think there'd be a bot over there with track nearby. I guess it's not that nearby. Well, alright, there we go. We should be on our way now. Yeah, so everything is offset. Fuel, rocket, your nuclear fuel got put into the first car instead of train, locomotive. And it's dark again. Okay, this guy's unloaded. You see this? It's actually running pretty good. Wasn't sure how this would handle all of those, but yeah, that's a problem right there. Oh, these guys. Ooh, that's good and bad, and well, because of that. Here we go, 2 trains. Because of the cargo of the nuclear fuel in the first here will never get unloaded, these trains will never go anywhere. Copy, paste. I'm going to leave them like that for the moment. I'm hoping if I pull that out, the train will just take off. That was interesting. I'm kind of glad they just didn't take off. Oh, good, that puts them on manual too. Let's back you up. No, you know what? You are correct. Let's back you up. And then we do copy paste. Let's do this the other way around. This is the right way to do it. Back you up. Stick the extra locomotive, copy, paste, come in here. Oh, where? Oh, let's auto trash those. Because that's a whole lot of fuel. You're the same way. Now, I don't really care if the first train here, the first locomotive, doesn't have fuel. It will get fuel when it drops off or picks up its next load. And, you know, I don't need them to be super fast at the moment. Let's wait for the save. Rotate that so we don't stick more in as I'm trying to pull them out. The chest there should only have 5, but as soon as some gets pulled... Interesting. Oh, you know what? Putting on the locomotive... I was expecting to see, like, no path as soon as I emptied it, but putting on the locomotive set it back into manual mode, I'm sure. Automatic. Automatic. No path. We are now good. I need to correct those inserters. We'll wait for a robot, which is probably coming from halfway across the map or something. How are we doing over here? We're still not... Okay, we just got a train offloaded there. I was going to say we're still not really getting many to offload in the far end, but this side is now backing up. So the next train that unloads here will probably get stuck. Okay, we got our trains here going. Let's fix these. And you see these got loaded. Now it looks like the... Oh no, okay, I was going to say... It doesn't matter what size the top or bottom. I thought they might have gotten switched between the top and the bottom at some point, but no. And... You see this is made of like 2 sections. I also tested with 3, but the 3rd section, it wasn't... The copper and iron weren't making it all the way down, so I figured 2 sections is quite enough. Something I haven't done, which I really should have, in the past, we're making 9,000 a minute, which is way more than I need, I believe. I think I only need something like 500 a minute because they get put into... I figure it's the purple or the yellow science, and you get 2 of those, so if we're going for 1,000 a minute of that, we only need 500 of batteries. Steel. We're 13,000 iron plates a minute, which is great. How's this? Well, how's this over the last minute? We actually did 15, and yeah, about 9,000 batteries a minute. Why don't we have a... Ooh, okay. You have a few thousand. Where's our... Okay. Here's an acid train. Where are the other 2? I'm assuming they're getting acid. No. How did you decide to go here? Look, there's other... I think maybe this should be a chain signal. You're gonna go out, and that will fix that deadlock. All the others went in fine. What was what was that guy's problem? I'm gonna switch that out for a chain signal. And hope that fixes everything. Yeah, I think because of that we ran out of sulfuric acid, and that's why momentarily that was down. Just as I flip back, you can see the amount of batteries produced was being pretty low, and looks like we're basically out of sulfuric acid again. But here comes another train. Yeah, we really tear through that acid. But, oh, look at that. I did not connect that right. How did that happen? So that whole top was backed up. You can see how, yeah, this seems to be able to flow at full blue belt rate. So I'll probably need to switch over to that if we find any rate problems. May need another acid train. How are we doing on acid production? Could be better. How are we doing on... We're doing okay on petroleum gas. I mean, it's getting sucked out, but hey, we're using it. So I believe it's this pump, and this pump go to the petroleum gas. And then the gas comes into basically these two tanks and these two tanks, and then these 4 pumps here go to plastic. You see, these are all running. So we're producing it. You could be pumping it in quicker. Maybe that's something I should look at. Like, well, this one is empty. You're pretty full. They do get kind of pumped into the same. So maybe having pumps. I can't put them right here, but maybe like here and here, and then the same for down here would help. Because, yeah, you're full. And you're full. Yeah, these aren't even running. Alright, let's do that quickly. Oh, look at that. We're all jammed up. I kind of basically, when you're using one-way train or one-headed trains, roundabouts are an issue, and that's basically what this is—a big roundabout. Put you on manual, and like, don't pass here if you can't get past your net. Can't. You kind of need the whole roundabout to have chain signals. Yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know what I did. Put you back on automatic. But I think that unblocked it. Like, yeah, don't enter here if you can't leave. That way you don't block other trains. Almost afraid to pass that train. I want to go to... I'm just going to stick it here. Oil parking. Alright, it's not fully cleaned up, but we're not locked anymore. These trains are now going. What I really should do is... And we're still good over here. And nothing... Nobody's locked up out here. That's good, and this is still clear now. Alright. Train's going to park over here. Well, since the train in front of us got out of the way, we are now. I was going to get out, but train in front of us moved. Alright, I need... I'll make a few more. So there... why do we have a chest here? Let's power you. Power you. Yeah, these are pretty full. That's part of the... Well, it's not an issue. It's a good thing. We want those to be full. And we'll just stick that there. And we'll just... So hopefully that will help. You're pretty empty now. You're still full. But I'm guessing these empty quicker. I mean, you should... Alright, you're going down now, 22. So once the close one empties out, the further one should empty as well. Yeah, the tanks are somewhat slow to flow between, even though they have a large capacity. There's usually 1,000 or so difference between neighbors, or sometimes more. There's like 18 to 15. You think with that big of a difference, if it flows through the pipes relatively easily with just a 10 or less of a difference, you think a few thousand difference, but apparently it's percentage difference because they both have large capacities. The percentage isn't that much of a difference. Alright. I think at this point we have all the requirements for the science production met. So let's head back over there, and I'll show you what I have, and we can turn it on and see how it goes. I'm actually a bit surprised that a defense train wasn't stopped there waiting for a place to park. Or did I might have removed that station because it's now like in the middle of my base. It used to be the border of my base at one point. So, and of course it's turning night, but that's okay. These are all the trains. Actually, there's one more down here for the science factory, whatever you want to call it. Of course, there's no lights in here. All right, we'll do it like this. So basically, this is a, I believe I said this earlier, a blueprint that I got off of Factorio prints. I haven't really, well, I haven't modified the actual production area except for these pipes slightly. Apparently the original was set to just have lubricant being piped in, but I'm training it in, so I added an extra station here for lubricant. Also, additionally, these stations here were set for 3/8 trains, and I have modified them for either 2/8 trains, or the ones that I've left in the original position are now 1/4 trains. These are mostly the anything that had 2 belts or less. But even, well, this is what, red circuits? Red circuits. Even though this is 2/8, I have a big production facility for red because blues need them. So that was left as a 2, well, that was modified to a 2/8 train. Mainly by moving all these belts forward by one train length, because you can't move these. My one problem, not really problem, but the one thing I think could have been done better in the game is train stations can only be put every 2 spots. They're 2x2 and they can only be put every 2 spots. The carts are 6, but they have a empty spot between them, making them 7. So if you want to like add an extra train head, you can't just move the stop further down because it won't line up right then. So I had to move all these, but that wasn't that bad. I took a blueprint tore it all down, moved the blueprint forward, slapped it down, had the bots rebuild it. So we got iron, copper, coal, batteries, blue circuits, red circuits, green circuits, iron again because more iron is needed, steel, did I not change you? I misnamed that as stone. It's really bricks, but then I realized my brick production is not a 4-long train. It's an 8-long train. So call that empty. It's not going to be used. No trains go to empty. You can see I did that with these as well over here. And then lubricant on a 1-4 train as well. The one thing I think I did miss, and it appears that I did, is space science. White science needs to be stuck on this belt. I'm wondering if it needs to be on a particular side, but apparently it doesn't. I'm going to stick that in last. But I think at this point we can let this guy go. Oh, yeah, real quick. It's probably daylight again. We have 2 trains for every one of these, except iron, of which I have 5 trains, so that there'll be 2 trains here, hopefully at least 1 train waiting while 2 more are filled up. And we got 3 copper, and then these are 2 steel. This is coal, your coal, battery, blue circuits, red circuits, green circuits, your bricks, along with bricks down here, and then these are 2 lubricant trains. While there's not quite enough room at this stacker, whatever waiting area, with trains in the station, there'll be plenty of room. I'm going to connect these here, and then connect this. These 3 trains are actually, they're going to come into the stacker and stop at these stops first before actually loading up. So let's go. We're going to start producing science, and I'll probably start one small research, probably mining efficiency. So, yeah, you guys should stop saying... Why are you all not going? You should be clear. Look, you all have it. Oh, oh. Why are you? I mean, why are you not going? Are both of these here missing? No. Okay. Well, you should have a. Okay. That was weird. I'm not sure why he didn't just go. You guys still have a no path down here. You will fix that, and now you guys have a path. So the trains are going in here, and then out. The only thing actually now that is really new is lubricant, but we have a bunch, and that should just be, you know, pull in, fill up, pull out. Please, someone pull in. Yeah, the only problem I see is, yeah, that right now there's a lot of trains pulling in and out. It shouldn't be that many once this is going. I mean, at least, not this many at once. Except for iron and possibly copper, the rest should pull out, once every few minutes, because they're not used that quickly. And we're doing okay here. I may need to split this and pump it in these others as well. Because how are we... Alright, here we got a lubricant train. Yeah, the back cars here, because of the way the gas comes here. Oh, look at that. I'm only filling from one side. That's okay, that's not that quick. Alright, we got some iron. So this is filling in. As soon as we get some copper... Oh, here we go. We got blue circuits and batteries. I was going to say, when we get some copper, we should start getting red and green science. I'm not sure where green science is produced. Here we got military, or gray. Here's green all the way up this end. So that probably comes off the other iron train, so that will take a bit. Okay, it is yellow science that needs the batteries. And I like to see this at least okay, here we got some more iron for the other side. Of course, this iron train's already empty. Hopefully... Oh, did I miss those trains? You should go. Why aren't you going? Yeah. There's green circuits. Let's, nobody come. What? I thought I pulled 4. Oh! I did pull 4. I still had my auto trash on. Please don't run me over. Are you not? You're not on automatic. And that's why you weren't going earlier. And did I miss these guys as well? Somehow I did. Oh, I want to put more fuel on him. Oh well. Sure. And now I'm stuck on a tree. And I don't want to get run over. Yeah, this is a train death trap here. Let's go back into map mode. Alright, we got red, green, stone. Hopefully these are all going to the correct spots. Yeah, those look good. Oh, look at that. Red, military, blue, yellow, and green how are we doing on production rates? 500 a minute. Close to that there as well. Red and green are 1,000 a minute. Let's do it over 1 minute. Yeah, green is ramping up. A bit over 500 on blue, almost 700. Sorry, 700 on blue. About, well, it's now over 600 on yellow. What are we missing? Purple. Because we're missing steel. I'm guessing, yeah, that was the one train we had missed turning on. Where am I? Oh, look at... Oh, that's not good. So I guess I had a radar down there to light the area up when I placed the blueprint, and I did not realize it broke things. Let's stick that back. We'll stick the radar back. I could also explain why some of our numbers were a little off. You look good like that. And I'm just gonna put this there. That should help up the rates. Oh, look at that. We got a pole over here as well that was in the way. Sometimes these things aren't obvious until you're like, hey, why does that belt not have any material on it? All belts here should have material. And apparently this happened down here as well. So let's fix... Oh. It's probably okay that those don't hook up completely. Alright. Why aren't you going? You're still designed for 1-3 trains. Well, I was gonna start a science research, but obviously I have some problems here. Both the steel and the bricks, I apparently thought that they were going to be 1-3 trains, and so we loaded items onto them instead of taking items off. This apparently was originally designed to use circuit network. Get rid of you, and you, and you. Great. I'm going to do the fix now, but we'll actually get to testing next time. So just so you can see what I'm doing. I think though I'm gonna basically stop commenting now, so I will see you guys next time with more Factorio. You know what, I will still commentate, but that will be my sign off. So I just highlight that, copy it. I took out that because I want to leave it there. I am now going to blacklist that, which means it will remove everything except that, hopefully. You know what? Great. I should also... I want to leave the lights. And we'll do the same thing down here. Yeah, stop inserting stuff. It's not going to work. And if we do this right, the lights should line up. They'll be... There we go. Little blue indications. Take the station out. There. That was in the way. And do the same thing over here. And I already did it up here, but this pole there was accidentally, well, it was marked for removal. I want to leave it to power the light. And now let's just wait for crazy light shenanigans. Robot shenanigans. And empty this out. Let's auto trash those as well. And you should go on your way now and actually bring in iron. So auto trash bricks, because my bots brought me a whole bunch when deconstructing this. Speaking of, there we go. That, because I didn't remove enough of the line there. Rotate, not T. And that should do it. Just now have to wait for the bots to build. Where's my other iron train? Oh, you're a brick train. Well, this one will go. He has some bricks. Yeah. While we're trying not to get run over. Why do you have no path? Where's iron 25? Iron 23, 20... Well, there's your problem. I was optimizing because now there's a bunch of patches out here. I was trying to optimize that way out so they come up here and stop, but apparently I did it wrong. There should be... Okay, there's a construction bot coming. They're probably all over here or something. That will fix that. Not sure why trains didn't go over here. Why they're all like stuck waiting for that one. That was weird. Alright, that should now... I mean, he needs a few hundred more and he'll be on his way. Green. Purple is missing the irons. So we got red and military, yellow and blue, green and purple. We'll finish this off, and then I'll really end this. Hey, we got 2 requester chests already. I'll do 2 requester chests. Ah, you are not quite in range. Now you are, and in fact, just because we're probably behind traffic, we'll stick another one over there. And 2 stack inserters. We don't not quite need 2,000 in one chest. Watch for rockets. One, 2, 3. Where are all these guys coming from? Where? Oh, they were probably up here somewhere, and somehow got assigned to work over here. That's... Bots are great, but the bots are dumb. I wish if a bot had no missions, no tasks assigned to it for, let's say, a minute, it would decide to spread itself out so that every robot port would have an equal number if nothing is going on in your base. That way, when you actually did something, they wouldn't have to fly from 10,000 miles away. Or I guess I could really make smaller, more dedicated you know, logistics networks. But maybe not initially. There should be a research for smarter robots. One that, like, if it's the closest robot would be picked for a task, and then the robots would spread themselves out if they haven't had a mission in a minute. Alright, well, we're doing good on iron. This whole brick thing is now unloading, and he will go pick up more bricks and let the other brick train in. We're still loading the back of the train. Oh, look at, how did that happen? Well, this has found quite a few issues, and look at that, that should be fixed as well. Because the front is only getting like half. And that's why the back is still loading. I really should have noticed that last... Why are you guys flying over here? I think I see what's happening. From here, they're flying. Oh, I went too far. Diagonally, so like here, and then they run out of power, and some of them are like, oh, let's fly back. Something like that. And of course it's not again. It seems... Oh! I didn't notice it until I started running, but UPSs are way down. I kind of expected that. I was hoping they'd... Well, they're back up to about 40. And now it's running through the forest. Well, this has gone much longer than I thought it would. I thought it was going to be possibly maybe 10 minutes at most. Not sure what happened, but oh, I was going to say UPSs are back up. I'm gonna guess maybe we have a deadlock somewhere. Now, if I'm lucky... Yeah, I'll put them back. You just wait. Are you... Okay, you are actually powered. Let's... Alright, that does make it all the way across. So that should help keep those bots powered. Let's just quickly look. Alright, not a deadlock. It was probably close. We're back in 35s, which is not what I want. 30 is where I start to say it's unplayable. Although, ooh, look at look at yeah. Oh, do you? Oh, thank you. Basically, this train trying to get in is blocking that train from leaving because it was the same block. The way I had this designed, you need to separate the blocks. So that is sort of a deadlock. And they were all blocking up here. And yeah, steel train has switched now. Hopefully this should now clear once, only one train can get in at a time. I really should have a second block here. That's not going to get placed unless I go over there. But that one I place here should at least let another train in so they won't block up the whole way. I may need to make this dual track because the amount of... We got like 4 stations. Oh, and this is... Oh, that's a defensive train. Yeah, I'm like... We apparently have... oh, yeah, a new little enemy base there. Not for long, though. And I really should drive my engineering build train over here to get rid of that, because I actually don't have a defensive station. And I should build one. So, yeah, I'm going to call the episode here. Maybe we need some more iron smelters. How are we doing on copper? Definitely going to need another copper smelter with like 3 trains waiting here. That's causing us problems. Because these trains can't get out, so we can't get more copper in. Yes, we do have backups here. I'm just going to tell all these guys to go around, basically. So, yeah, we have a few issues. Where are your trains? I bet some of them were held up in the backup over here. Yeah, so got some things to work out. Like that. How did I not notice that? Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.